Food is the foundation of preparedness. Without it, even the best planned in gear won't mean much when disaster strikes. Whether it's a short-term emergency or a long-term SHTF scenario, having the right food stored can be the difference between survival and struggle. Welcome to Prepper's Paradigm, your channel dedicated to practical prepping and disaster preparedness. In today's video, we're diving into one of the most important topics for any prepper, a comprehensive food list. We'll cover all the different categories of food you should store, from grains and canned goods to dried foods, oils, and even comfort items. You'll also learn how to calculate the amounts of food you need for your family, broken down into carbs, proteins, and fats. Plus, while we'll briefly touch on storage methods, we'll save the detailed storage tips for a separate video. The focus today is all about what to buy and why it matters for your long-term survival. And to make it even easier for you, head over to our website, preparedness.com, where you'll find an interactive calculator to work out exactly how much of each type of food you need based on your household size and duration of storage. I'll leave a link in the video description. And just a quick note, if you're new here, I use a computer-generated voice for my videos because my own is hard to understand due to an injury, but the information is all real. Let's get started. Storing food is one of the most important steps you can take as a prepper. Disruptions to food supply chains can happen suddenly, whether it's due to natural disasters, economic instability, or larger SHTF scenarios. Having a reliable food supply means you're not dependent on external systems that may fail when you need them the most. Food storage isn't just about survival, it's about maintaining your health and well-being during tough times. A well-balanced stockpile ensures you have enough calories to keep going and the right nutrients to avoid deficiencies. Beyond nutrition, food can also provide a sense of normalcy and comfort in stressful situations, which is just as important for morale as it is for sustenance. It's worth noting that proper planning makes all the difference. Simply hoarding random items can leave you with gaps in your nutritional needs or an overwhelming amount of food that spoils before you use it. By understanding what to store, how much you need, and why it's important, you'll be better prepared for any situation. Building a prepper food supply isn't just about stocking up, it's about stocking smart. There's no point in storing foods your family won't eat. If you don't like sardines now, you won't magically start enjoying them in a crisis. Focus on food you already eat and adjust the recommendations in this video based on your preferences. A well-planned food supply should be practical, not just shelf-stable. If your family enjoys pasta but not rice, store more pasta. If you can't stand powdered milk, look for alternative sources of dairy or calcium. The goal is to build a stockpile that you'll actually use and rotate, ensuring nothing goes to waste. Grains are the foundation of any food storage plan. They are calorie-dense, affordable, and versatile, making them one of the most essential categories for preppers. For a 3-month supply, each person should store approximately 50 pounds of grains, divided among different types to ensure variety and meet nutritional needs. White rice is a staple in food storage for good reason. It's affordable, easy to prepare, and has an incredibly long shelf life of 20+ years when stored properly. Each person should aim to store at least 20 pounds of white rice for a 3-month supply. To maximize its longevity, package the rice in Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers and store it in a cool, dark, and dry location. This ensures it remains safe to eat and retains its nutritional value over time. Pasta is another versatile and long-lasting staple that's ideal for food storage. Whether it's spaghetti, macaroni, or penne, pasta provides a comforting and filling meal option. Plan to store about 10 pounds of pasta per person for 3 months. Pasta can be stored in its original packaging if sealed tightly, but for longer-term storage, use good quality airtight containers or Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers. Oats are a nutritious and versatile grain that's perfect for breakfast or baking. Rolled oats, in particular, are easy to prepare and provide a good source of fiber and energy. Each person should store about 5 pounds of oats for a 3-month supply. To preserve their freshness, keep them in airtight containers, such as Mylar bags or food-grade buckets with a tight seal and oxygen absorbers, and store them in a cool, dry area. Quinoa is a protein-rich grain that adds variety and extra nutrients to your meals. It's also gluten-free, making it an excellent option for those with dietary restrictions. While quinoa has a shorter shelf life than rice, it can last several years if stored in vacuum-sealed bags or airtight containers. For a 3-month supply, consider storing 3 pounds of quinoa per person. Flour is essential for baking bread, pancakes, or tortillas, but it doesn't last as long as its whole grain counterpart, wheat berries. Wheat berries can be ground into fresh flour as needed and have a shelf life of decades when stored in mylar bags with oxygen absorbers. For 3 months, store 5 to 10 pounds of flour or wheat berries per person, depending on your family's baking needs. You could also add cornmeal to your grain storage, providing the base for dishes like cornbread, polenta, or grits. It has a shorter shelf life than some other grains, but can last up to a year in vacuum-sealed packaging or airtight containers. Like flour, cornmeal should be kept in a cool, dry place to maintain its quality. By diversifying your grain storage with these options, you'll ensure a reliable and versatile source of carbohydrates, the primary fuel your body needs to stay active and healthy during emergencies. Protein is essential for maintaining muscle, supporting the immune system, and staying energized during an emergency. For a 3-month supply, each person should store approximately 25 pounds of protein, divided into different sources to ensure variety and balanced nutrition. Here's how to break it down. Beans are a staple protein source for preppers. They are shelf-stable, affordable, and provide essential fiber alongside protein. Options like black beans, pinto beans, kidney beans, and chickpeas can be stored for decades when kept in airtight containers with oxygen absorbers. Dry beans require soaking and cooking, so plan for extra water and fuel if you rely on them heavily. Aim for around 7 or 8 pounds of beans per person for a 3-month supply. Canned meats provide a convenient, long-lasting protein source. Good options include canned chicken, beef, pork, and ham. These meats are ready to eat and can be used in a variety of meals, including stews, sandwiches, or mixed with rice and pasta. Choose varieties with minimal additives and rotate stock regularly to maintain freshness. A 3-month supply is around 7 or 8 pounds per person. Canned fish like tuna, salmon, sardines, and mackerel is an excellent protein source rich in omega-3 fatty acids. These can be eaten straight from the can or added to meals for variety. Fish generally has a long shelf life, but should be stored in a cool, dry place to prevent spoilage. Store about 5 pounds per person for a 3-month supply. Nuts and seeds provide protein, healthy fats, and essential nutrients, making them a great addition to any prepper food supply. Almonds, peanut, sunflower seeds, and pumpkin seeds all store well if kept in vacuum-sealed or airtight containers. Around 2.5 pounds per person will last 3 months. Powdered eggs are a lightweight, versatile protein source that can be used for baking, scrambled eggs, or as an ingredient in recipes. With a shelf life of up to 10 years when stored properly, they are an excellent long-term protein option. Choose high-quality powdered eggs with minimal additives for the best results. Store about 2.5 pounds per person for a 3-month supply, or more if you do a lot of baking. For more variety, consider adding lentils, which cook faster than beans, or jerky, which is a portable and high-protein snack. Freeze-dried meats and protein powders can also supplement your supply if you want lightweight, long-lasting options. By balancing protein sources and selecting foods you enjoy, you can create a well-rounded stockpile that meets your dietary needs. Fruits and vegetables are essential in any prepper food supply. They provide vitamins, minerals, and fiber that help maintain overall health, especially when fresh produce is unavailable. Since fresh fruits and vegetables don't store well long-term, preppers rely on canned and dried options. For a 3-month supply, each person should store 60 pounds of fruits and vegetables, with 40 pounds coming from canned sources and 20 pounds from dried options. Canned fruits and vegetables are one of the easiest ways to ensure you have access to essential nutrients during an emergency. They require no refrigeration, are ready to eat, and can last for years when stored properly. Canned vegetables like green beans, corn, carrots, peas, and mixed vegetables are great sources of fiber and vitamins. These work well as side dishes, in soups, or combined with other stored foods like rice and pasta. Canned fruits such as peaches, pears, pineapple, and applesauce provide a natural source of sugar and vitamin C. Choose varieties packed in juice or water rather than heavy syrup for a healthier option. Tomato products like diced tomatoes, tomato paste, and sauces are versatile ingredients for cooking stews, pasta dishes, and casseroles. Bear in mind, however, that canned tomatoes have a shorter shelf life due to their high acidity. Canned fruits and vegetables should be stored in a cool, dry place to maximize shelf life. Rotate stock regularly using the first in, first out method to keep everything fresh. Dried fruits and vegetables are lightweight, space-saving, and have a long shelf life. These are especially useful when cooking meals from stored staples like grains, beans, and pasta. Dried fruits like raisins, apricots, apples, bananas, and cranberries are excellent sources of fiber, natural sugars, and antioxidants. They can be eaten as snacks, added to oatmeal, or used in baking. Dehydrated vegetables such as bell peppers, onions, carrots, and spinach can be easily rehydrated and used in soups, stews, and casseroles. They retain much of their nutritional value and are an excellent way to add variety to stored meals. Freeze-dried fruits and vegetables are the longest-lasting option, often remaining good for many years. They retain more of their original texture and taste compared to traditional dehydrated options. To store dry fruits and vegetables long-term, vacuum-sealed bags, Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers, or airtight containers are the best options. These prevent moisture and pests from spoiling your supply. By storing a mix of canned and dried fruits and vegetables, you ensure a balanced, nutritious diet that will keep you and your family healthy in any survival situation. Fats and oils are an essential part of any prepper food supply, providing concentrated calories and playing a key role in nutrient absorption. They also add flavor and texture to meals, making them an important part of a balanced diet. Unlike many other food storage items, fats have a shorter shelf life and require careful storage to prevent spoilage. For a 3-month supply, each person should store at least 5 pounds of fats and oils, divided between different sources for versatility and nutrition. Cooking oils are important both for cooking and meal preparation, with around 2 pounds per person for a 3-month supply. Olive oil is a popular choice due to its versatility and health benefits, but it has a shelf life of about 2 years when stored properly in a cool, dark place. Coconut oil lasts longer, up to 5 years, and remains solid at lower temperatures, making it a good option for storage. Vegetable and canola oils are widely available and affordable, but they have a shorter shelf life of about 1 year before they start to degrade. Storing oils in airtight, dark-colored containers away from heat and light will help extend their usability. Nut butters are a calorie-dense source of both fats and protein, making them an important part of food storage. Each person should store 1.5 pounds of nut butters for a 3-month supply. Peanut butter is the most common option, with a shelf life of up to 2 years if unopened. Almond butter and cashew butter offer slightly different nutritional profiles and flavors, providing some variety. To maximize their shelf life, nut butter should be stored in a cool, dark place, and commercially sealed jars are preferable to homemade versions. Lard is a traditional cooking fat that works well for frying, baking, and adding richness to meals. Each person should store 1 pound of lard for a 3-month supply. When properly stored in sealed containers, lard can last up to a year at room temperature and even longer if refrigerated. Ghee, which is clarified butter, is a suitable alternative to lard. Since the milk solids are removed, ghee has a longer shelf life of up to 2 years and does not require refrigeration. Vegetable shortening is another shelf-stable fat, mainly used for baking and frying. It has a longer shelf life than liquid oils and remains solid at room temperature. Each person should store 0.5 pounds of vegetable shortening for a 3-month supply. When kept in a sealed container in a cool, dark place, vegetable shortening can last up to 3 years. These items will ensure a reliable supply of fats for cooking, baking, and maintaining energy levels during an emergency. If you use a lot of oil and fat in your cooking, particularly for frying, you may want to increase the amount stored to ensure you have enough to meet your needs. Sugars and sweeteners are an important part of food storage, not just for baking and preserving food, but also for providing quick energy and boosting morale. While not strictly necessary for survival, they can make meals more enjoyable and help maintain a sense of normalcy. For a 3-month supply, each person should store 6 pounds of sugars and sweeteners, with 3 pounds of sugar and 3 pounds divided between honey, syrups, jam, and other sweeteners. Granulated sugar is the most common and versatile option for food storage. White sugar has an indefinite shelf life when stored in a cool, dry place in an airtight container. It is useful for baking, making preserves, and sweetening drinks. Brown sugar, while also useful, contains more moisture and may harden over time. To prevent clumping, it should be stored in airtight containers with a moisture regulator, such as a terracotta disc or even a piece of bread. Honey is an excellent natural sweetener that never spoils when stored properly. It can be used for sweetening foods, baking, and even minor medicinal uses, such as soothing sore throats. If honey crystallizes, it can be restored by gently warming the jar in warm water. Other sweeteners such as maple syrup, molasses, jam, and artificial sweeteners provide additional options, depending on personal preference. Maple syrup is a natural alternative to processed sugars, while molasses is particularly useful for baking and as a source of iron. Jams and fruit preserves offer a shelf-stable way to enjoy fruit flavors without requiring refrigeration until open. Artificial sweeteners such as stevia or sucralose have a long shelf life and are useful for those reducing their sugar intake. This will ensure that your food storage includes enough sweeteners for cooking, baking, and energy needs. While sugar is not a necessity for survival, it can greatly enhance meals and provide a much-needed morale boost during difficult times. Dairy is an important part of a well-rounded prepper food supply, providing essential calcium, protein, and fats. While fresh dairy products like milk, cheese, and yogurt are difficult to store long-term, shelf-stable alternatives ensure that these nutrients remain a part of your diet during an emergency. For a 3-month supply, each person should store 20 pounds of dairy, divided between powdered milk and evaporated milk. Powdered milk is the best option for long-term storage, as it is lightweight, shelf-stable, and easy to reconstitute. Each person should store 13 pounds of powdered milk to meet their dairy needs over 3 months. Powdered milk can be used for drinking, baking, and cooking, making it one of the most versatile items in a prepper's food supply. When stored in an airtight container in a cool, dry place, powdered milk can last 10 years or more. Fortified versions with added vitamins A and D are the best choice for maintaining nutritional balance. Evaporated milk is another excellent dairy alternative that requires no refrigeration until opened. Each person should store 9 cans of evaporated milk as part of their 3-month supply. Evaporated milk is a concentrated form of milk with much of the water removed, making it ideal for coffee, cooking, and baking. It can also be diluted with water to create a milk substitute. Most canned evaporated milk has a shelf life of about 2 years, but rotating stock regularly ensures freshness. Including enough dairy in your food supply helps to maintain balanced nutrition. While fresh dairy may not always be available in an emergency, these shelf-stable alternatives provide a reliable source of calcium and protein. Having the right ingredients for cooking and baking ensures that stored food remains versatile and enjoyable. While the items we've talked about so far form the foundation of a prepper's food supply, certain additional ingredients are necessary for cooking and baking, such as making homemade bread, thickening soups, or adding flavor to meals. These supplies may not be consumed in large quantities, but are essential for creating balanced and satisfying meals from stored food. Salt is one of the most important staples in any food storage plan. It enhances flavor, preserves food, and is a critical nutrient. Table salt and sea salt are both good choices, while canning salt is ideal for preserving meats and vegetables. Salt does not expire, but should be stored in airtight containers to prevent it from absorbing moisture. Spices and seasonings bring variety to food storage meals. Basic seasonings like black pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and chili flakes should be stocked in sufficient amounts. Add any other spices that you enjoy eating too, bearing in mind that whole spices often store better than ground. Dried herbs such as oregano, basil, thyme, and rosemary add depth to meals and prevent food fatigue when eating from a limited supply. If you like hot sauce, make sure you include that in your stores too. Baking ingredients such as baking powder, baking soda, cornstarch, and yeast allow for bread making and baking, which are essential skills when fresh bread and store-bought baked goods are unavailable. Baking powder and baking soda have long shelf lives, while yeast should be stored in vacuum-sealed packets or frozen for extended usability. Alternatively, learn how to make sourdough bread, which doesn't need added yeast. Vinegar is a multi-purpose ingredient used for cooking, pickling, and even cleaning. Apple cider vinegar and white vinegar are the most versatile choices, with indefinite shelf lives when stored properly. Cocoa powder is another valuable addition, offering a way to make hot drinks or enhance baking recipes. Unsweetened cocoa powder stores well for years in a cool, dry place. By including essential cooking and baking supplies in food storage, preppers ensure that their stored staples can be transformed into flavorful, nutritious, and enjoyable meals. Even during an emergency, access to spices, leavening agents, and basic seasonings can make a significant difference in maintaining morale and meal variety. Salt and vinegar also ensure that you can preserve food that you grow yourself. While nutrition and practicality are the main priorities in food storage, comfort foods play an important role in maintaining morale during stressful situations. Including small treats can make a significant difference in keeping spirits high, especially during long-term emergencies. Chocolate is one of the most popular comfort foods and has a long shelf life when stored properly. Dark chocolate lasts longer than milk chocolate due to its lower dairy content, making it a better choice for long-term storage. It can be eaten as a treat or used in baking to add variety to meals. Hard candies provide a quick energy boost and a sense of normalcy. Individually wrapped varieties, such as peppermints, fruit drops, and butterscotch candies, store well and can last for years when kept in a cool, dry place. Coffee and tea are not just sources of caffeine, but also daily rituals that help create a sense of routine. Instant coffee is the best option for storage, as it has a long shelf life and requires no special preparation. Tea bags are lightweight and easy to store, offering a variety of flavors for comfort and relaxation. Other specialty snacks, such as granola bars, dried fruit snacks, or even a small supply of packaged cookies, can provide a welcome change from basic staples. While these are not essential for survival, they offer psychological benefits that can be just as important in a crisis. By setting aside a small selection of comfort foods and treats, preppers ensure that their food storage plan includes more than just survival essentials. It includes a way to boost morale and maintain a sense of normalcy during difficult times. A well-planned food storage system is about more than just having enough calories. It's about ensuring variety, nutrition, and practicality. By carefully selecting a mix of grains, proteins, fruits, vegetables, fats, dairy, and other essentials, preppers can create a balanced supply that will sustain them through emergencies. The key to effective food storage is customization. While general guidelines provide a starting point, every household should tailor their supply based on dietary needs, cooking habits, and personal preferences. There's no point in storing food your family won't eat. Adjust recommendations to match what you actually use in daily life, and consider how much you rely on oils, sweeteners, or comfort foods when planning your stockpile. Storage conditions also matter. Keeping food in cool, dark, and dry environments extends shelf life, while using proper containers, such as Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers, ensures freshness. Regularly rotating stock using the first in, first out method prevents waste and keeps food supplies up to date. For those who want to simplify the process, the Prepper Food Calculator on preparedness.com provides an easy way to determine how much food to store based on household size and time frame. This tool takes the guesswork out of food storage, helping preppers build a reliable and well-balanced supply. Building a food stockpile isn't just about survival. It's about ensuring you and your family have the resources to stay strong, healthy, and resilient in any situation. Whether preparing for a short-term emergency or a long-term crisis, taking the time to plan your food storage today will make all the difference when the unexpected happens. If you found this information useful, please like the video and subscribe to Prepper's Paradigm. Your support really helps the channel to grow. As always, thank you for watching. Stay prepared, and we'll see you next time.